am I wrong to say that this feels like a hangover of the civil rights era? They couldn't win on civil rights. Affirmative action became the hobby horse in the late 70s and 80s, and now they issue a death knell in the same way that the women's liberation movement of the 70s, they couldn't stop. They make abortion their hobby horse to curtail a woman's right to bodily autonomy, and they have this Pyrrhic victory with Dobbs.
It feels so familiar to Dobbs in some sense, Alex, because, and, you know, I think it's worth lingering for a moment. At least in Dobbs, they were honest enough to say, we are overturning Roe v. Wade. It's not even clear from the majority opinion, although it functionally, I think Melissa's exactly right, it functionally overturns, you know, Bakke and Grutter and Fisher and all of the affirmative action cases. It doesn't say it, and Justice Sotomayor in her dissent calls out the chief, you know, essentially saying, you can't say you're not overturning it when you're overturning it. There's a level of disingenuousness. But I think the other thing that's really shocking and that feels familiar from Dobbs is this very cynical use of this long, amazingly important history of civil rights victories that culminates in some sense with Brown v. Board. And much like Justice Alito cites Brown in Dobbs to somehow argue that he's in a long line of cases where you overturn abhorrent precedent, again today, the majority does this double troll where it's not enough to do away with, you know, 50 years of affirmative action doctrine, but somehow lashes itself to Brown and its progeny, to the 14th Amendment itself, to the Reconstruction era project of trying to create equality, and says, oh, this all follows on from that, to not even have the courage to say, this has nothing to do with civil rights. We're not civil rights warriors. We are fundamentally undermining the civil rights project, the project of equality, and to instead say, if we take Brown to mean what it meant, then this follows logically from that. It's such cynical gaslighting, Alex, that it almost makes it a double whammy to have to sit there and listen to them say that this is a victory for civil rights and for colorblindness.
Well, and I feel like it's kind of part of the arsenal of the right, which is to quote Martin Luther King as you promote white nationalism.